Every morning, it's like, we got to do another video, Marcus.
But you're getting some intel.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I think you're hearing from people that most people might not be hearing from. So
Yeah.
there's things going down in DC right now. What is going on?
Yeah. So yesterday we did the video that told people don't cut a deal with Senator Lee.
Yeah.
Pressure your senators. And the response was overwhelming. Thank you all for doing that. Last night, we heard rumors that the parliamentarian of the Senate, who applies what's called the Byrd Rule, have you ever heard of it?
No,
No.
yeah. Can you explain like what the parliamentarian does? And
So there's a thing called the Byrd Rule, and it's named after Senator Byrd,
okay.
who's the longest serving senator, that says you can't attach things to a budget bill to try and circumvent the 60 vote requirement to end the filibuster in the Senate. So the Senate is different than the House. In the Senate, if it's anything other than a budget bill, you have to get 60 votes to say, let's end debate and let's actually vote on the bill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a trick some people try to use is, let's take some obscure stuff and bury it in a budget bill that we know would never pass the 60 vote rule.
Which is exactly what we've been talking about going on with all this public land sales.
Right. Yeah. I mean, all the things that Senator Lee put in there had really nothing to do with, balancing the ledger. So last night, we see a flurry of new proposals from Senator Lee because he's getting the same word that the parliamentarian is going to rule that all your language for selling land it's not a budget issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a change of policy, which requires 60 votes. So this morning, I got it from both a Democratic office and a Republican office on the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee that it's out. So Senator Lee has three options.
Okay.
One is he can convince the vice president to overrule the parliamentarian, which I don't know that that's ever happened in the Senate. He can convince Senate Majority Leader, Senator John Thune from South Dakota, to overrule the parliamentarian, which seldom happens. Or he could submit some new language that he thinks complies with whatever the ruling was of the parliamentarian and try to get that in before they vote on it, because they're trying to get it voted on by Thursday, so in 2 days.
Yeah, this is happening very quickly.
So to all of you who have been so amazing in contacting your senators, in sharing this information, we temporarily have a victory here. But we got to make sure that they don't backdoor us. And I don't think Senator Thune has the stomach for it. But here's what we got to ask people to do. Call and email your senator, and I don't care which side of the aisle they're from,
Mm-hmm.
and tell them do not allow Senator Thune to override the parliamentarian as it relates to the land sales proposed by Senator Lee.
So is that the best method? So rather than contacting John Thune directly, unless he's your senator, right? So it's better to contact your own senators and urge them to send that message to Thune.
That's like step 1A.
Okay.
But step 1B is to call Senator Thune's office, and sometimes senators' offices, they say, are you from, in this case, South Dakota? And you'd say, no, but I'm calling because Senator Thune is a majority leader, and I want to make sure that he doesn't override the parliamentarian.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to inundate Senator Thune and have him get mad, but that's part of being Senate Majority Leader.
Yeah.
And they understand that. So we're going to put the phone number, we're going to put and most of you already know how to contact your own senator because you've been doing it. And you can do this via email or you can do it via phone call. But we are going to put Senator Thune's contact where you can reach him. And I don't think he's going to do it. But we can't, right now is the time where we can't, and we've been saying this, right? All gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
No brakes today. More gas. And if we can pull that off, yeah, we're still taking a lot of hits right now in conservation and public access. But this one here, both sides have told me it's been an awakening back there. For the people who doubted how big public lands were in America, there's people back there who knew that. But the majority of the people are like, oh, that's just flyover country. Now they're like, let's not kick that nest again.
Yeah,
So,
it's become very evident that public lands are important, and
Yeah.
hopefully these guys realize it. So, and again, you said be respectful in your comments.
Yes.
Don't just yell at them. Like, nobody likes getting yelled at. I feel like it doesn't accomplish much
No.
if you're just using profanity and not making a valid point. They're just gonna throw that comment out, gloss over it. So
The most effective advocates, they are polite, they are professional, and they are persistent. And we've been all of that. All of you out there have been just that. So today is another request. And I know people are probably getting tired of the requests. But this could be the day where it's just, let's bury this thing and drive a stake in it. And let's move on with the business of running the public land. Let's get to managing these public lands, not selling them. We got to manage them. We got a ton of work ahead of us, but the answer is not to sell them. So contact your senators, first and foremost, and then contact Senator Thune's office, and maybe we can pull this off.
all right. Well, thanks, Randy, for keeping us all informed. Everybody appreciates it.
Yeah, well, thanks to all of you. The number of people who've taken action has not just been important for this issue, but important for bringing public lands and public access far, far higher on the priority list back in D.C. than it was a month ago.
Yeah, that's another silver lining of this. I think that public lands have risen in priority in a lot of people's minds, which is great.
Right. And it goes without saying, if you want to reiterate your comments of yesterday that no deal with Senator Lee, just nope. He's playing from a losing hand. He doesn't even have a pair of deuces, and he's trying to salvage. We can't let that happen. So make those calls. Hopefully this is the last time people got to hear from us about this, but thank you all. Thanks so much for what you've all done, and I'm hoping we can celebrate.